kushirikiana na nyinyi wote ili tujadili swala zima la kudumisha amani na kuleta maendeleo katika jamii zetu. Na hakika kuanzia jana tumejifunza mengi sana ambayo yatachangia directly what I'm going to share with you, discuss with you, deliberate with you, and ultimately agree on what is the way forward. Because the whole process of learning is ultimately to change the behavior. The behavior is not changed, the learning has not taken place. Learning takes place only when there is a change of behavior. I always admire behaviorist psychologists. I don't admire cognitive psychologists. Knowledge is not just for the sake of knowledge. Knowledge is supposed to change your behavior at the end of it all. And they also say 80% of knowledge is basically psychology and 20% is physical, is practical. Therefore, if you can be able to change your mind and have the right attitude, everything else becomes easy for you to learn. When you know the reason why you are doing what you are doing it becomes very easy. But first, you must understand why are you doing what you are doing. And that is what sometimes may be called a passion. Anytime you have a passion in a certain area, a certain endeavor of your life, it becomes very easy to do those kind of things. In fact, you don't get into any state of fatigue, or you don't get tired, and you don't get disappointed, you don't get frustrated, because you know why you're doing what you are doing. This field of CVE and peace building, unless you have passion, unless you have the reason why you are doing it, believe me, sometimes you can get frustrated and say enough is enough. It's like teaching. You teaching without passion is like hitting on a cold iron. You don't make anything out of a cold iron. But when you teach with passion, whatever you say goes direct to the person that you are teaching. And therefore it becomes easy for you to change the person that you are actually teaching. So we shall begin with a small exercise. I have distributed some, some posters, and some of you have one next to you, in front of you. I would like you to stand with the one that is in front of you, and then pick another one that's on the wall, then pick a partner, and discuss what is in your hands with that particular partner. Then we come back and we share what you have learned from those posters. So maybe you can just take a gallery walk, go around the room with the poster you have in your hand and your partner's poster and the poster that is on the wall. Then have a short discussion with a partner of your choice. It shouldn't be your neighbor, it should be somebody else sitting very far from you, not the one sitting. Then pick this one that's on the wall, stand next to it, and discuss. If you can't find one on the wall, just use the one that you have with you, and the one that you have. Just stand next to it. Don't black it out. Discuss the underlying meaning of those posters. Make sure you have a partner, please. Together. Before you come so what is this one? Can we get this? Okay, we have 2 minutes to go.
Those who have also realized that this is a person who has a war, who pioneered the manufacture of atomic bombs. What is the message? Well, the game is creating a very little people, essentially reaching a notice. Good tradition.
Okay, time is up. Go back to our seat, please. Go back to our seat. We go back to our seat. Okay, thank you very much. Can we get back to our seats?
Hey, the Maroras and Kasungus. They are done. We are
Okay, thank you very much. Maybe now we can share what we have learned from the posters that we were interacting with. I'm going to start with these two gentlemen. Here. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, you can stand if it's your partner.
Yeah, I think it was forgive others, not because they deserve forgiveness, but because they deserve peace.
So, okay, we learned from that one that sometimes we do things not just for others. This is for our own self, for our own sake first before it is for the sake of others.
So it's very important that for you to have peace, you have to make sure you learn how to accommodate the weaknesses of other people.
And also to add on that, relieve that burden of stress.
Yeah?
Forgiveness with that is useful. At the end of the day, I am at peace because my intentions are good and my heart is pure. For your intentions to be good, your heart has to be pure, which means you there is peace within yourself.
So peace is not cultivated, is not built around the tables. Peace is generated from people's hearts, your feelings, right? That's why they say be careful of what you think. What you think affects the way you feel. Be careful of the way you feel. How you feel affects the way you act. Be careful of your actions because your actions makes your character. Be careful of your character because that's what takes you to your destiny. So it's very, very important for you to understand that peace always begins with you. You cannot give people what you don't have. So if you want to live in a peaceful environment with everybody else, first cultivate peace inside you, within you. Okay? The software drives the hardware. It is how you feel inside you that in most cases will dictate how you will behave externally. So it's very important to have that equilibration inside for you to see peace that is around. Thank you very much. Another group? Another group? Yes?
Okay, we looked at this quote here. Peace is not something you wish. It's something you make, something you do, something you add, and something you give away. Just like this said that the quote they give, that forgiving somebody is, if you want, it says that forgiving others is not because they deserve forgiveness, because you deserve peace. So that is you, it is what you do. So you do forgive others so that you live with peace personally, and then when there is something maybe you have kind of a conflict, they will come and make peace. That is, you solve the problem in that area, maybe just at individual level or at state level, and all kinds of levels of conflict, because you make peace there. And then something you are, that is living with others in peace, not disturbing the environment, not disturbing the neighbors, not disturbing the family, and all that is something you are.
One thing before Madam says anything is, I want all of us this morning to learn that in life you cannot give people what you don't have. You cannot give people what you don't have. So if you want peace,
if we want to have peace, it's not something that we just wish. You just sit down and wish we have peace, but we should do something, go an extra mile, and participate in the acts of making sure that there will be a peaceful coexistence, and you yourself becomes an ambassador of peace, not just wishing that there be peace.
thank you. That's very powerful, because at the end of the day, we are not known for what we say. We are always known for what we do. A human being is normally affected by two things. Your description is calculated or is described by three important angles. The angle of your thoughts, the angle of your feelings, and the angle of your actions. But the thoughts and the feelings are hidden inside you. It's only the action that which everybody else can be able to see. So at the end of the day, is what you do unto others that makes people understand what kind of an individual you are. E plus R is always O. Event plus response always will give you the outcome. So you have to be very careful how you respond to any event that comes into your life. And I'm sure Prof is shared this with you. At the end of the day, even what we are seeing going on in the whole area of VE and CBE is also contributed by the way people are responding to what is happening in their life. Whether we as civilians getting hurt by what the security agents are doing, or the security organs responding because of what we are doing as civilians. But at the end of the day, if both of us get to realize someone is behaving the way he's behaving towards you because of the way you also behave towards that particular person. And that's why Mahatma Gandhi said you must first be the change that you want to see. So if you find people not treating you well, the first question you need to ask yourself is, what is wrong with me? There is something I'm not doing right. And that's why people are treating me the way they are treating me. Before you start thinking about them, first think about your own self. And that is why in this very interesting book by Stephen Covey, he says, seek to understand yourself before you struggle to understand other people. The problem could be with you. So if you change that you don't want people to see, then ultimately the image that will go out might make people become comfortable with you, and they might give you the space for you to live a peaceful life. Good. The next group.
Okay, we looked at that. Peace comes within the souls of men when they realize their oneness with the universe. When they realize it is really everywhere, it is within each one of us. From that, what I learned personally is that peace, it cannot come from our minds. It does not generate, or the soul is not our minds, but our hearts. And that we are one. We are one, we are all humans. The blessing is that we are humans, belonging all of us to this universe, to be heard. And when we realize that, we can
says peace is but a single one. But when it is echoed by many, it becomes a rallying cry for harmony in this world. That even the reason as to why we are here, we want to bring peace in our countries. And it has become a concern for all of us and the whole Republic of Kenya and the entire world. Again, there is another statement here which says, the ego says, once everything falls into place, I find peace. And the spirit says, find your peace, and then everything will fall into peace. Therefore, it looks like there is communication, starting from the soul, the ego, and the spirits. Then there is a connection. Peace is just you. That if we are talking, me and you, and we're not happy, you might not even listen to me. We are suffering to have a lot of problems right from your bed, with your partner, if you're married. Like my grandmother told me one thing, that if you're married and you woke up in the morning and you find yourself laughing, then you have passed one great examination. Because sleeping with a woman and waking up very rapidly is not a very easy duty. Then from that talk, I decided to get married. Yes.
What's important there is the ability to connect. Is the ability to connect. But that connection first has to come from the balance that is within you as an individual. The ability to actually appreciate who you truly are and live harmoniously with your own self. And then understanding that though we are all like from the same origin, but we are still different. And therefore that difference is not to divide us, that difference is to make us appreciate that God is great. And that's where you get one very strong value, that if each one of us had that value, even the VE will not have been there at all. And this is the value of tolerance. The ability to take someone the way he is, the way she is, and being able to coexist with them without forcing them to become you. Are you getting my point? Ability to create that balance within you and the balance within your environment. That at the end of the day, everyone is unique, everyone is different, but on top of that, we are all human beings. Before you are a Giriama, a Kikuyu, you are first a human being, right? Before you are a Christian or a Muslim, you are first a Bajuni or a Kikuyu or whatever. But at the end of the day, we have a common physical address. And that physical entity is that entity of humanity. So let's begin from there. And if people will think that way, we shall all live in a very harmonious and peaceful environment. Good? Somebody else?
Yeah, for us, maybe I start with this one. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. That if we have no peace, then it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. And I think the message here is clear, that we as human beings have the freedom, and we have been given the latitude to choose between peace and, of course, where there is no peace. And that if we find ourselves in a situation where we don't have peace, then it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. And by belonging to each other, it means that as human beings, we need to live together. That is, if I happen as a human being to have crossed with you, it is you as a human being to forgive me. If you have any information that I don't have, and maybe anything harmful may come in the way, then it is your responsibility as a fellow human being to give me that information. And by so doing, we will be living together or showing that we are or we belong together. And the end product, of course, will be peace. And so the main message here is that peace comes from within. We have that freedom to choose whether to have peace.
And then at the end of the day, it's a matter of choice. But that choice has to be directed by the fact that you cannot live on your own. You cannot be an island of your own self. There has to be a synergy of one kind or the other for you to be able to understand the worthiness of existing on this universe. If you do not realize that at the end of the day, I will need my neighbor, at the end of the day, I will need the shopkeeper, at the end of the day, I will need the teacher at the school, I will need the doctor at the hospital, I will need the farmer in the farm to be able to survive in your own life, then that's when you will develop that arrogance, that egocentrism. But if you discover, look, I can't stand on my own. I'm not an island of myself. I still need others in order for me to survive. Then that will give you that attitude of learning to respect other people. And with that respect done, definitely you will get that acceptance and you'll be able to live in a peaceful way. Anything to add?
We had another post here, which says that you find freedom inside, nowhere else. In the heart of every human being, is one space which is filled with peace, which is full of love. That means the extent that we as human beings, at least in us, there is something, or in us, there is a space in our hearts. And that space has to accommodate something. And that space is always occupied by peace. And when there is peace, wherever there is peace, there is love. So it is always full of love. So in our hearts, we have a space. That space is at any given time should be filled with peace. So that when there is peace, it's full of love. And that will now translate to the whole society.
Prof, will correct me here because I'm a biologist, but the heart as an organ is hollowish. There's a hollow in it, isn't it? It depends what you put in that hollow. That at the end of the day will influence the kind of person you will be. If in that hollow you will put hatred, you will always be vengeance, you will always be angry, you will always be, at war with everybody, including yourself. But if in that hollow you put love, then you will first love yourself and then love other people. There is no way you can love other people if you don't first love yourself. There's no way you can be at peace with other people before having peace with your own self. So whatever you allow to occupy the space that is inside your heart, that is what will radiate at the end of the day. The kind of displays, the kind of characteristics, the kind of actions that you will engage in your own life. And then at the end of the day, that will attract. That's why people say money always go where there is money. Isn't that what people say? Yes, and that is why from today you should never walk without any money in your pockets. If you don't want to die poor, make sure you're always walking with money in your pocket. Because when you have money in your pocket, that's when somebody else can feel comfortable to give you more money because they know you're not broke. You'll be able to pay them back. But if they ask you, what do you have in your pocket? Before I give you the 1,000 you have requested from me, and you tell them, no, I don't have anything, believe me, they won't give you because that is a sign that you will not be able to pay back. Are you getting my point? That's just a commercial break. But what I'm saying is that's very, very important. You have to wear that personality of being a peaceful individual for you to attract other people who will also contribute more peace in your life. Because of time, let's move quicker.
One says, when you are totally at peace with yourself, nothing can shake you. Means that if you are at peace with yourself, you become strong. There's nothing that is going to distract you because first of all, you are at peace with yourself. And then we have another one here which says, choose your thought carefully. Keep what brings you peace,
release what brings you suffering, and know that happiness is just a thought away. The first one is choose. So in other words, it's a matter of choice. Your heart is like a basket. You choose what goes into your basket. For example, if you put more value on money, you are likely to be corrupt. If you put more value on other people, then you are likely to have humility and kindness. So it is you to choose what goes into your heart. If you have love, that is good. And then the other part says, release what brings you suffering. Those that do not bring joy into your heart, shake them off. They are not important. Remember, they say that harmony will always lubricate, while friction will corrode.
Thank you very much. Beautiful. That's very strong. Okay? Knowing who you are determines where you should go. Okay? And at the same time, realizing what you need dictates to how far and how fast you move. And also realizing what is more important, precious, and valuable in your life also dictates the kind of road, the kind of path you will take along your life. And that's why, again, in the same book I refer to, they say, if you want to be an effective individual, to enjoy the peace of the universe, you have always to think of with the end in mind. That means you must always be cautious and conscious of the outcome of every action you engage in. It's called the law of cause and effect, the law of consequences. If you're always thinking about what will happen if I do what I do, and if you do what you do, then expect you will get what you've been getting. If you're not happy with what you're getting, change what you are doing. If you realize people are no longer comfortable with you, then change the way you are also connecting and relating with other people. Good?
Okay, the last message that I have shared with my colleague says, inner peace begins the moment you choose not to allow another person or event to control your emotions. Therefore, I think this message is also clear in that there is no one who will like to maybe entertain someone who may cause maybe harm to him, or maybe will cause discomfort to him or herself. Therefore, it's upon you to choose those people who may create peace within yourself and not allow any person who might maybe cause discomfort to yourself. Therefore, still, it goes with your choice. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. The word choice is so powerful because at the end of the day, you are born, the 7 of you in the same family. One of you is a professor, another one is a sweeper. One of you is a millionaire, another one is a pauper. One of you is a medical doctor, another one is a cleaner. What kind of magic plays in terms of people becoming who they become in life? Because here we are, both of us are from the same parents, biologically. And all of us came from the same genealogical line. The genetics are like almost the same. Because the mother and the father, we share, the two of them. Then how come we are different in terms of character? We are different because of the choices. Biologists have told us this very clear, that in the womb of the mother is like universally accepted that we all live the same way. Eat the same way, sleep the same way. We only change the moment we get out of the womb of the mother, as we are growing up and as we are becoming independent, as a result of the choices that we make. And peace comes as a result of the choice that you make. And I want you to write down the word choice. Choice, S-H-O-I-C-E. Because this is where the issue of radicalization also becomes very, very clear in terms of description. How come brothers from the same family, one will get radicalized, another one will live a normal life? What's the problem? Where is the challenge? What? The choice. The choice. And they say choice, see, the commitment you get yourself into. That commitment. No one does it for you. There are certain things in life, nobody will do them for you. You got to do them yourself. You want to look good, have a good friend, you got to go to the gym and, do the press-ups yourself. You want to become a professor, you want to become a professional, you got to go to school yourself, study, do the exam, and become who you want to. There are certain things in life no one can do, no matter how much people love you, they cannot do those things for you. You got to make the choice yourself. You have to take the commitment yourself. You have to get engaged yourself. So see, the word choice is the commitment. Where does your commitment lie? In living a peaceful life or coercive life? In having harmony or having conflict? What's your choice? In becoming an independent person or becoming dependent person? In becoming an asset or becoming a liability? What is your commitment? Having freedom to enjoy your own life without getting into problem with anyone? Moving from an ugly caterpillar and becoming a beautiful butterfly to fly all over and enjoy the beauty of flowers and nice environment? Or is getting yourself, enticed, held back by grudges, enmity, and hatred? Choice also has the letter O. H, they say, every one of us is as a result of the habits, the things you do every day, every minute, every second, every hour. What you do makes you every day. It's not what you do weekly, it's not what you do yearly, it's what you do every day. When you add up all those things, they describe who you are. They make you who you become. And that's why they say success is not a destination. Success is a process of habituation. Observation, imitation, repetition, and habituation. The habits that you do. You have a habit of reading, of course you'll become a knowledgeable person. You have a habit of running and working out in the gym, of course you'll become a strong person. You have a habit of talking in public with people, of course you'll become an orator. You have a habit of insulting people, and stepping on people's toes, definitely you become an enemy of everybody. It's the little things that you do every day that ultimately make you who you become in your life. So you have to change, and you want to become a different person, you've got to change the habits, the things that you're doing every day. You wake up early in the morning, you have to say good morning to everybody. The second day, everybody else will say good morning to you. You wake up in the morning and you're frowning your face, surambovu, come on. Like that, and everybody becomes surambovu. You get my point? So the choice. And then O is being sure what you're doing is going to work. Being optimistic. Understanding and not wasting my time. At the end of the day, njia inayopitiwa kila siku hainei nyasi. Na kitabu kinachosomwa kila siku hakisahauliki. Everyone who is an expert today was one time a learner. And even Professor Gogo was not born a professor. Wow. There is a process he had to go through to become a professor. So you want to see the results becoming different, change the process, change the habit, and be confident that whatever you're doing ultimately will give you what you want. It is about I plus A that ultimately gives you your D. Is the intention plus your action that ultimately takes you to your destination. It's not about what somebody says. It's not about somebody else's description of you that makes you. It's about you describing yourself by doing what is right and ultimately becoming the person that you want to stand upright for everybody else to see. That you have become the person you've been working so hard to become with a lot of optimism. Human beings, they say what the mind can conceive, the heart can believe, you can always achieve. You got to see it to want it. You got to want it to work for it. You have to work for it to get it. You got to get it to enjoy it. You got to enjoy it for you to be able to share with others who are close to you. But first, you must see it. What is it that you want at the end of the day? A peaceful society, a peaceful Kenya, peaceful life, harmony, love, excitement, enthusiasm, life full of energy, or do you want to live life of desperation? What do you see when you look at the horizon? Do you see the beautiful rainbow, or do you see the thunderstorms? What do you see? When you wake up in the morning and you open your windows, What do you see? Sunshine or dark clouds? What do you see? What you see dictates who you become. So that optimism, that power of the mind, that this is what I want to see in my school, in my family, in my community, in my life. And then you combine it with the actions, doing what is expected for you to do. Then believe me, the whole thing becomes a reality at the end of the day. Every dream requires a team for it to reach its dream. But first there must be a dream. For you to select the right team to work towards realization of that particular dream. And ultimately you reach the dream and say, yes, I've made it. But you didn't make it in a night. You didn't make it in a day. There was a process that you had to go through. And the endurance of going through that process is what ultimately makes you who you become. Either live in a peaceful way or live in a cohesive way. Even the diamond was once a stone. It had to go through intense heating, proper heating. But then ultimately it becomes a shining object that everybody is like, wow, I wish I could have it. But you don't. What people don't go back to think of is where is the origin of this particular thing. Mwanzo wa ngoma ni lele, kisha ni vigelegele, lakini usipokuwa hadhari ugeuke kama kelele. Isn't it? Mwanzo wa ngoma ni lele, kisha ni vigelegele, lakini usipochukua hadhari ugeuke kama kelele. So you have to be careful of what you do. Because at the end of the day, that is what dictates the kind of environment you're going to create for yourself. Yes, can we move to the next person? The next. The choice ideation. Interest and inspiration. Interest, what inspires you? What turns you on? Success or failure? What turns you on? Seeing people happy or seeing people angry? Are you a sadist? What turns you on? What gives you excitement? What makes you happy? What moves you? What gives you extra energy? What is your inspiration? Choices is about selecting the source of your inspiration. Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because it's an instruction from the Almighty? Or is it because you want to please your parents? Or is it because you want to have a good family? Or is it because you want to have an excellent life? Or is it because everybody else around you should be happy because you're happy? What is your inspiration? What is it that can get you out of your bed even in the middle of the night when you remember you have to do a certain thing? What is the source of your energy? What gives you? What triggers the production of endorphin hormones in you? What triggers that excessive, the burn of adrenaline in you to give you that extra energy? What triggers? Even when you are like half dead, the moment you think about that thing, you come back to life and fresh again. And you can move again. Because you have remembered, if I don't do this, my kids in the morning will not have breakfast. If I don't do this, I can't go back home. My wife will not open the door for me. If I don't do this, my mother will sick at the hospital, will have to lose her life. If I don't do this, the landlord will be at the door on Saturday and I won't have a peaceful weekend. If I don't do this, I'm not going to do well in my exam. If I don't do this, I don't become the person I want to become. What is it? What is it? The moment you discover that in life, everything else becomes easy. Because we all need that. Because we all burn out, by the way. At one point or the other. But there has to be a source. When you burn out, you can put your blood somewhere and you get a new set of energy flowing into you and ultimately standing up to do that mission that you believe in. Okay? With that optimism and a lot of interest and a lot of inspiration. C in the choice is consistency. When you are out to achieve peace and end violence, you have to do it every day and everywhere with everybody. You can't do one day. They say if you take too long to attend to your garden, the weeds will take over the crops. If you take too long to attend to your garden, the weeds will take over your crops. If you don't do anything to what is happening, of course, don't dream of seeing a different result. If you want to have what many people will have tomorrow, you have to do what many people are not willing to do today. Because if you do what everybody else is doing, you will get what everybody else is getting. If you want to have a different life in the future, you have to do things differently today. So if you want to have peace tomorrow, you have to start doing it today. That consistently. What you do every day makes you an expert one day. What you do every day makes you an expert one day. So if you want to be an expert in something, you got to do that thing every day consistently. And ultimately, you become the expert. You don't become an expert in a day, a week, a month, or a year. It's a journey. You have to travel through that journey. Okay? With a lot of consistency. With consistency, the river, goes through the mountain. With consistency, the rock splits the rock. With consistency, the waves of the sea creates a cave. With consistency, the drops of the rain creates a crater on top of the mountain. But it has to be done consistently. So when you are out as an ambassador of peace, you have to preach peace to everybody and every day without getting tired. You don't quit because you're tired. You quit because you have achieved what you want to achieve. Consistency. And then you have to keep on engaging. No one succeeds alone. We all need each other. We have to synergize. We all need a shoulder to lean on. And therefore, everyone who is going up top the ladder has to carry someone along with them. Because when you go up there alone, it might get too lonely. And you might slip and fall down. And if you didn't make good connection with the bottom, then the top also doesn't hold you for too long. And therefore falling back becomes very easy. So there has to be a lot of engagement. You have to connect. It's called emotional capital. It's an emotional capital. Sometimes you don't become successful because of you. You become successful because somebody else knows you. You showcase yourself. And people see what you can do and they connect with you. It becomes natural. Success goes where there is success. And therefore, you have to change your own environment as an individual, and you have to change who you connect with, and at the end of the day, birds of the same feather flock together. Good. The next person, the next group.
Okay, our next here reads, "Forgive is the highest, most beautiful form of love. In return, you will receive untold peace and happiness." Now, from this message, actually, what comes out is that, human beings, as they live together, their conflicts usually arises. And we as peace ambassadors, we advocate for peaceful conflict resolution. And to have that heart of forgiving, you must be able to love that person so that you can wholeheartedly give out, so that, and at the end of the day, you will receive peace and harmony in your life.
So you get what you give.
Yeah.
What goes around, comes around. Garbage in, garbage out. So you have to be careful of what you do to other people. Because in return, they will also do the same thing to you. Good? My friend?
So we also discussed this one, that peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but it is a means by which we arrive to that goal.
Yeah, it's a means that you arrive to that particular goal. Yes.
So it is not that we seek peace alone, but just to feel that we are okay. No, but we need to go through peace so that you can achieve something greater with peace.
Peace is a means that ultimately gives you that thing that you want. In most cases, it's development, right? Whether it is personal development, family development, communal development, or national or global development. But therefore, the peace is a means to an end. So if you don't take care of this means, you will never see the end. Okay, you don't plant beans and expect to harvest maize. No. You plant maize and you harvest maize. What do you expect? What do you expect from a liar? To tell the truth? No. A liar will always lie. You don't expect. And believe me, it is useless for you to go and cry where there is funeral. That's nothing special. Because where there is funeral, everybody is expecting you to cry. It's useless to go and dance where there is a wedding. Because everybody expects you to dance where there is a wedding. What is special is when you do what people never expect you will do, then you become special. Are you getting my point? Yes. So what not everybody else is doing, when you do it, you become unique. You become special. Because no one expected in that circumstances for you to behave differently. And that's why Jesus Christ said, you don't meet an enemy with an enmity. There's nothing different. The only difference is when you meet the enemy with forgiveness. Then you are special. Somebody else?
Okay, we discussed this poster here. It reads, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. It is self-explanatory that as much as we are trying to advocate for peace, we should always remember that peace is a gift from God. And we are just an instrument or a tool of spreading peace. Therefore, peace starts with you. And we should always try to stabilize peace where peace is stabilized.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, the next group, because of time. You are together with him?
Yes.
You have something to add?
I have a different one.
Okay, good.
And also wonderful.
A wonderful one.
Yes. It goes this way.
Can you share it with us?
Observe good faith and justice towards all nations. Cultivate peace and harmony with all. It's good that my colleague said that this is a gift from God. So when you have become an instrument that has been used, then it will be good for you to be just.
Good.
It will be good for you to have good faith, that is, to have love for others. Observe, if maybe observe the rule of the law. Then we cultivate peace and harmony with all only by your choice and your actions.
Thank you very much. Good. So at the end of the day, it's about faith. Faith. When the disciple of Jesus requested Jesus to allow them to go and heal the way he heals, Jesus accepted and told them, go out there and heal the way I heal. And they went, and then they came back disappointed. And they were telling him, Master, we tried, but it never worked. And then Jesus said, you guys don't have faith. You guys don't have faith. You can't do it without faith. Now write down the word faith. You don't have faith. But if you had faith, you would have moved mountain from where it is to where you want it to be. Nothing becomes difficult with faith. But faith, F, you have to focus on that thing which you truly feel is important in your life. You have to focus. It is not the binocular lens that burns the paper. It is the focus of the lens that ultimately harnesses the strength of the light to burn the paper. First thing first. Do that which you think is important, and the rest of the things will take care of themselves. The focus. Faith also comes from aspirations. What are you aspiring for? Where do you want to go from where you are at the moment? Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery, but today is a gift. That's why in English it's called present tense. It's about today, not yesterday and tomorrow. So if you want things to be different tomorrow, you've got to take care